Are you feeling lost in your business and wondering what to do next? Or maybe you want to start something new? Then this is just the place for you. Hi, this is Ryan Vaz with this series called Inspire. And along with PB and Bharat, we are bringing to you entrepreneurs who have done exceedingly well in their business so that they can be an example or they can give you guidance and motivation for what you need to do. Today we have with us a very interesting man who defines the word opportunity seeker mindset. He's the one who I believe is a master connector, connecting different people and going out of his way to help people. A gentleman who has built one of the largest export hubs in Goa, exporting to about 15 countries today with a wide range of products, right from manganese
Manganese.
to cement blocks, so many different products with so much experience, and then wearing multiple hats, the ex-president of the Vibrant Goa Foundation as well. Please welcome, and I'm so proud to welcome Mr. Arman Bankley. Welcome, Arman ji.
Thank you, Ryan. Pleasure to be here.
Arman bhai, you've been doing successfully over 15 countries now. In the recent years, the global supply chain has moved from just buying from one place or China plus one policy, where people are looking at how to have another alternative. How has Armines been able to capitalize this shift and use this, and especially with products like you have?
First of all, to know this, the answer goes back to my infancy stage when I started the business. Means originally, from 1993, I am into processing of minerals and set up in Goa and all. And over a period of time till 2015, I was gradually in my shallow shells and was doing with one product and this. That's when I came with my mentor, Dr. Jagat Shah, and that really changed my whole mindset towards the global trade. I used to do exports and all, but never focused much and all that. But then 2015 onwards, there was a spark in my life, and then exactly I had a global view of what exactly I wanted to do, and especially I developed the products which were exportable and doing that. But in 2015 and 2019 during pandemic, that was a real game changing in my life when during pandemic, a lot of my other buyers who were buying only my manganese and minerals from me over here from India almost since 2 decades, they felt that now they don't want anything from China, and they just asked me to help me that how if I can source some different products of their other uses, raw materials from India, and can give them into merchant exporting and all. And this is how I totally transformed myself from a manufacturer exporter to merchant exporter also, and developed almost 10 new different items which I started procuring from India and merchant exporting to those my buyers. And that became that means the pandemic actually became a blessing in disguise for me.
Wow.
People who just didn't wanted to do any business with China had an advantage of knowing me and doing things from India, and that was really life-changing moment for me, and it helped me to grow exponentially, which I myself had never imagined or was honestly in that Susegad mode over a period of time, being 3 decades in Goa now. But then again, that revived
so
the
which
whole
are these
life.
products which are exporting? Now, so many different products.
Means I have 4 different verticals of business. Basically, the original one being the minerals and alloys and all.
Yes.
But then gradually, when the mining got closed and all, I diversified into manufacturing of cement products and all. And then gradually, mine is much more of a circular economy business. So one of my factory units, raw material becomes a byproduct becomes a raw material for the other industry and all. So that is how really it helped me to make the whole economy around my Airmines group into multiple units of 9 manufacturing units across in these 4 verticals.
Brilliant. And I know that you've been a mentor for a lot of different people. In fact, some of the people that have been on the show also have been mentored. I know of at least 9 people whose names I can take that you have mentored. I mean, that's an amazing feat. And I remember that we had a discussion when you were trying out this ready mix plaster, ready mix cement, and we used some of your stuff, and it was excellent. And around that time, you also started doing work with MOPA. And somewhere in that conversation, it also came that you supplied 4 lakh bricks to Mopa
Yeah.
and in a record time. Can you tell us about that story?
No, basically, what happened is like when the mining got banned and all this, I had diversified into cement products, and
Okay.
one after another cement products. I just from manufacturing of cement blocks to plasters to tiles adhesive, and I just increased my manufacturing portfolio to different various products so that I can be a target. My target buyer of a construction industry gets everything under one roof, and basically that time only when since we had successfully completed the Dabolim airport, I got an opportunity through a good referral and through BNI itself, and it was for Mopa Airport. And then since the requirement was huge and very time bound, so we decided with them and put our manufacturing unit within their complex itself.
Oh, interesting.
And that is how I could save on the logistic as well as deliver them the quantity, quality, whatever they wanted. So that really became very much helpful, and they allowing me to utilize the space. Though had to use a lot of other infrastructures and gensets and all that to run the show.
Yeah, because
but
I think there was
somehow
no power,
no
nothing.
power and all that. It was just the barren land. But just because my unit being at the southern end of Goa and Mopa being northern end, the logistics was going to kill us.
Impossible, of course.
So that is how we decided, and we requested them, and luckily they were also happy, believing in me, and I could deliver them in that time of record of 2 years, almost all that quantity, huge quantity.
4 lakh bricks in
Yeah.
just 2 years.
2 years.
That's amazing. Yeah, you started off with a very modest salary. If I remember, I read it somewhere that you started with 170 rupees. And was that right? 170 rupees?
750
700,
rupees
sorry.
salary. Yeah,
750
yeah,
rupees.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
So you started off with a 750 rupees salary, and today you are running a business which is almost touching around 50 crores. How has the transition been? And when someone looking at you, what should they keep in mind as a person grows to this level?
Especially for this, knowing my background becomes very important. Means I am a first generation business, father being a banker, and more importantly, what happened was during my final engineering days, we had internship in our college. I purposely want this to let the young generation know that that was the real time when I did that internship. I was working in a small scale unit for more than 6 months, and that is the time that really gave me an ignite, a fire in me that
Wow.
my future also should be something like this. I just don't want to spend my life in working for somebody and being a good blood again. So that was behind the scene, and I literally left the job during my campus interview. I was selected for Colgate Palmolive in Aurangabad, but I didn't go for that particular job, and I actually went into a small scale unit, learning the trades and tricks of that. But then understanding again that only being from the engineering field and not knowing much on the marketing and the accountancy and all that, I used to work from morning, almost travel from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. and then till late midnight. I used to do business management from NMIMS in Mumbai,
Wow.
where I
Very
learned
important.
all this accountancy as well as
Okay.
marketing and all that, and had prepared myself to this. And within a span of almost 3 years of my work life, I gained experience and then jumped into small trading business and all, and then gradually God
So then
had
you
been
started
kind
multiple
enough,
businesses.
and multiple businesses.
So I think in this story I see a pathway. You said internship first,
Yes.
then you started with a job,
Yeah.
and then you started your own
Unit,
business.
yes.
And while doing your business, you also did further studies,
Yeah, right.
because you are preparing now for scale.
Scaling, yes.
And then you started doing multiple this thing. And I hope our listeners are catching on to this, because this is valuable lesson. You have been working in different fields. There's biofuels, there is your manganese, then there is your blocks. Now, as you position yourself as an expert, exporting to so many different countries, how do you insist, or how do you make sure that we are keeping the same kind of reliability, the same kind of consistency, and the same kind of follow-ups that
Correct.
that is required to maintain that name.
Definitely now, since almost being 3 decades, 33 years now in this business field, and from the first unit what I started processing, so things had been lot set. Even the cement products which I diversified, it's almost now 15 years for that too. So and somehow, being that I always prefer to be on the top of the list, like I cannot digest settling down. So
Right.
I just try to work to that fashion that whatever I do, and if whatever I put my hands into, I would see that I would like to reach to a proper level and with more ethics. And some or the other way, I have always found being ethical and being very proper in communication and
Right.
service helps you that, because as my mentor has been teaching us, and what we have been taught is person does business with person first. So
Right.
I really make myself that very available to that level where the connections are made through me first, and then down the line my office takes
Of the
over,
team.
and things moves on a steady pace with my overall intervention if not required, and as and when required. So that's the key to this. And definitely one more thing which I would like to talk about is what Goa made me learn is, if I would have been in Mumbai, I can literally say that nobody would have known who's Arman Bankley. But
Right.
here, coming over this exposure of last 3 decades, seeing over here, I learned one thing: what that networking is very important, and that is why I believed in being part of many organizations and where I could network with the people. And when it helped me to grow my network, I have literally been able to nicely coordinate with them and make the teams move to what level I wanted always.
Right. So now that you spoke about network, you've been a very important part of BNI Goa. I believe you are the head for business growth. For business growth, you're also been the president of Vibrant Goa Foundation, and you also led the Vibrant Goa event, which happened a
Global
year and a
Expo.
half last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and which was an amazing event. I myself was there for that event. It was an amazing. I've seen you working tirelessly, giving out so much of your time and energy for all these events. And I've also heard that you are there in multiple other organizations as well. Uh, and you've very clearly said that it is for networking. But other than just networking for yourself, I think you've been giving a lot more to the community. Can you elaborate on what is it that the community has been getting with all the efforts that you've been putting out?
Definitely, for this I would give all credit to BNI philosophy, that is give us gain. When I joined BNI almost in 2012, and then that is what I have learned from that. That definitely give us gain makes a good year. So
Hmm.
being almost on the top of the region to give the being a master connected, how you said about, and giving businesses to another, referring and all. So that has really played a good and for I strongly believe what give us gain. So like what goes around comes around. Like
Absolutely.
so it has this even my life's biggest dream project which I must have completed was definitely Mopa Airport. And in fact, I was nowhere connected, nowhere even in thoughts that I'll put up a unit over there and all. But just with organizing, and especially the story behind that is also very important to know about. It was just during the COVID time when pandemic we were idle and all. I just happened to run few conclaves, online conclaves for BNI members.
Right.
And in one of the conclave I just had done on the infrastructure projects which was happening in Goa. And since I was hosting it and coordinating the things and all, just through one of the connect, the vice president at that time of Mopa Airport procurement was a part of that this.
Conclave,
And in
yeah.
fact that time Mopa Airport was never in sight. It was the work was stopped and all. Nothing much was there.
Right.
After an year almost, when Mopa Airport really started into work, that vice president who was there, he remembered me because I was in
You were
good connect with
coordinating,
him
yeah.
and coordinating. He could very well remember me. He invited me. They visited my plant, and that's how the story started. And that is how we built up. And I completed. So
So it
it's
pays
all
to
what
get
goes
involved.
around comes around. So I just believe in that. And with God's grace, almost in this 3 decades. quite satisfied with whatever I have been able to do and give, and it's always God has been kind enough that it has reciprocated to me in some or the other way, like which
Lovely.
even I have not dreamt, I have got it. Like,
Lovely. That's so sweet of you. So nicely that you put this. You've been exporting to now almost 15 countries, and I believe one of the biggest fears for someone who wants to start export is the logistical mountain. Uh, 15 countries, such a wide range of products. How do you climb that mountain, or rather, how do you make sure that things don't go wrong?
no, it's basically the experience now. It has been and working for this in the same field since I was almost exporting for 20 years. But then I was never into part of knowing any research or the techniques which are used in the modern day, how to find a client and how to approach, or even to quote, or what will be the best logistical way. I was in the shallow life what it was going on, and it was going on. But then after this 2015 through Dr. Jagat Shah, when I learned many things and all, then I absolutely involved. But my life, one funda is that whatever I do, I will do 100%. Otherwise, I
Right.
won't enter into that and all that. So then it really. I really liked the way the things was happening, and we went since from the Modi era, what we have been hearing about the marching towards the 5 trillion economy, and
Right.
also it just was a good motivation. And then Vibrant Goa was the real one step of 2019. In fact, when I went for many road shows across especially during the GCC countries and all, I happened to see the things, the machines which the plastering machines and all. Here we are still in the
Manual
old
way.
age of manual and the traditional way which are there. In fact, in Qatar and Bahrain and Dubai, where I used to go, I used to see the construction site using the plastering machines and ready mix plasters. When I came back, I said, why it cannot be done? And to my surprise, when I went and saw the machines which were there, which was used, that machines are manufactured in Goa, India.
Oh, really?
And that was when I sparked that. I immediately came down and I approached the company. They said, no, we are India. Nobody wants to work this way. They are more with the traditional this thing. The machines are not sold in India. We export only. I said, nothing doing. I just want to buy that machine, and backward I want to even develop a product which can be used in this machine.
Wow.
So that is how I took that risk of buying the machine. With even though the company was not ready, I just approached them that I am ready to take a risk, and you give me, and even with the help, company supported me well. I developed the product. That in
Very
fact
good.
today with that machine, the ready mix plaster what I make across the India, only my and one or two more products now
Wow.
are being able to use. So that very futuristic, we could backward integrate to develop it to become machine friendly.
Very nice.
And that is how I completed the whole Mopa airport project with the just two machines and plastering and all that. So we took those turnkey projects and got it done as well as. So the point was that basically exploring the market helped me to understand the need of it, and that is how I backwardly
able to
work into
capitalize.
it, and I capitalized.
Right. 30 years now of exports, and you said that you're satisfied. But for us and for the viewers, can you please, you must have seen so many transitions that have happened in the world from the time, from the way that you were doing research and entering into the market to today, the way that you're using technology. And I know that you've always been up to date with the technology that is there. Can you share us a story of how that transition happens? What you all started off with in your first export, and today how you're scaling up?
No, that is what, again, same story, like being an opportunistic. Like I just, anything which comes to me, I just would not like it to let it go anyhow. I would just involve myself and just see how it can be properly worked upon and get it very organized
Okay.
and done. So even in exports and all, especially in my initial days, I used to have tough time because I was not able to, though China, and after the pandemic, that time, okay, the buyers were ready, they wanted Indian, then this. But then that phase had died down after a year in say 2022-23, when again the things were reset. The things were dying down, and China definitely being cost effective than our Indian supplies was getting an age always. So I used to work again, like I was not ready to let that orders go and all. So I used to work upon that. Okay, fine. I used to always focus only, okay, fine, Goa and the Nhava Sheva port, Mumbai is nearby. Let me work only for through that. I never used to explore the Mundra port or the Chennai port or this. So I never logistically found out the rates to be viable from the other ports or this, because if my supplier is from say down Tuticorin, I used to stupidly, I would say, working from Goa and all that time. So then I just literally visited there and see how I could, and then I started using the Chennai port. Then I
Nice.
started something which I buy from almost Rajasthan, Jodhpur and all. I tried using the Mundra port. So that way, logistically, I just used to see that how the products are logistically quite viable and economical to the client, and that is how I just try to. Then even down the line learning, I used to understand, especially I also deal with paraffin wax, and paraffin wax
Okay.
comes all imported from Iran via Dubai and all that, and especially to Mundra and this. So I used to in fact always trade into merchant export from the material which has already landed from India and goes to the African continent. But then
Okay.
I again was getting slowly after the reset of the pandemic, not finding it economical, and I was losing those orders. So then in fact I have explored that now I only directly import from Iran via Dubai and try to give it to my this. So now
Okay.
again I am so I just have done my framework of logistically becoming economically and see that the things doesn't
But I think
go
it's
out of
it's
the
a
hands.
it's a lot of experience that is kicking
Yes,
in,
yes,
and
definitely.
then the pressures that come in from other sides, that you start keep getting better and better at what you're doing.
Yes, absolutely.
One final question: if someone like me wants to start, or any young guy wants to start their export business, any of the viewers want to start their export business, what would be the 3 steps or 4 steps, 3 steps that they would follow?
Yes, definitely in that steps. But before that, yes, export is the new. If anybody who is looking for new business, I would really suggest them. And I have mentored many, and I have changed many of my friends' business who were quite different into other fields, and they were trying to this, and I suggested them to try with the merchant exports, and they have now quite successful. In fact, some have literally overtaken me also, I would say them, and they have been able. So now
So
for any
that's a good thing.
yeah, yeah,
Huh?
absolutely.
That's a good thing.
That is more satisfying to me
Absolutely.
rather than me being into this. I'm very much happy that the people have been able
Very
to
good.
change their lives to
Yes.
into that. So that's always
So
have
one is
been
getting
this.
into export.
Yes. So what I would, for any youngsters who want to, the merchant export, rather now that manufacturing exports and all is little some or the other way dying down, or the rules and regulations that ease and that the margins are quite squeezing out because
Okay,
of the
okay.
competitions and all that. So but merchant exporting especially as the key in future now, I would suggest
Absolutely.
anybody wants to learn first, research the things, learn the whole export trade and secrets, plus the research what it is. Then I'm sure it may take little time for your first order or something, but I'm sure if you are focused, and once you get a very genuine supplier and all, and the most important why I tell everybody is keep your ethics and honesty
Absolutely.
absolutely alive. And if you are ethical and honest, God will look into it, and you will see that the things fall in the place. It may take time, but it will definitely fall in the place. In business, any business you do, ups and downs are always there. It's not that today also what I supply my products and all trucks are having good quality. Some has little transportation problems, rejections problems, but they know that I will be able
It's
to
still
ethically
reliable.
solve
Yes.
that thing.
Yes.
That really at the back of the mind. I can literally vouch. Some of my clients are ready to pay for my services and more and all. They know what it has been working with me and
Excellent.
all. So that is once a client, always a client. So that also helps you into it.
So an interesting conversation with Arman Bhai. Um, where he is opened his heart out and told what he does. And I think my biggest takeaway from this is that you start and you run your business ethically, you be consistent in what you're doing, understand your business well, and keep studying and improving on yourself, just like you did. And scale is just one step away. Right, Arman bhai, thank you very much for coming with us
you.
and spending your time over here. I'm sure a lot of the audience is going to truly value what you've shared with us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.